we just about to go to the field and do some dirt work until start checking tires. Give her a little wiggle there, Andy. Yep, that's going to need replacing. I'd like one spring where we can just go to the field and do stuff rather than have to fix it before we go to the field. I did not have that wrote down on my repair list for this winter, that's for dang sure.
Just take the bottom bolt.
No, take both of those bolts out on. Thank goodness for that 1-inch Ingersoll Rand electric impact. Well, it gave the 1-inch impact a struggle.
Well, I think it had the whole weight.
Come on, let's pick it up and throw it over your shoulder there.
It's fucking wedge, they probably could.
Oh God, Jesus. What happened? She's in there too.
Let me go ahead and pull it out. It didn't go down from lack of grease.
No,
I don't know what holds it together, but she got some suction on there.
Well, now it's stuck in there.
Oh, good job. Oh.
All right, we finally got it apart. There's a snap ring on each end, and then we got our axle shaft here. This bearing was completely gone. The rollers were just rolling around in the cavity there, and it looks like we got a lock ring right here that holds this ring on. This just unscrews off. You unscrew that off, and then you slide everything off the end is how I believe it works. But it's getting to be about 4:30. I was want to try and get see if Napa had some bearings, but these bearings have got no numbers on them whatsoever, so I'm going to completely disassemble it, hopefully before they close and go home. Take it over there and see if they got the replacements or can track down the replacements for me. Luckily, this ring is moving. I can't believe it. Hopefully it's right hand threads and not left hand threads. I'm going the right way with it. I'm sure there's some special tool to do this, but I don't have said special tool, so we making do with a hammer and chisel. You think with all this grease that's on here, it would move a little bit easier. All right, well, this turned out to be one of those days. I did make a lot of progress on this wheel. Napa did have the bearings in stock. That's a big old bearing. Kind of surprised me they actually had it in stock, but thank goodness that they did. But unfortunately, they did not have the seals in stock. And this tastes like a weird size seal. So they'd have to order from the manufacturer in Crossville, Tennessee. And anyway, that's going to definitely take a few days, like maybe the middle of next week. I think Don Midland Equipment in Caruthersville, Missouri is a dealer for these Reynolds pans. So I'm gonna call up there in the morning and see if by chance that they've got the seals for. That's only a 45-minute drive. If they do, I can run up there, grab the seals, pop the seals in, put this thing back on, and we can be moving dirt tomorrow afternoon. If not, then I'm gonna have to order the seals from somewhere, and probably gonna be at least a few days in, but anyway, I do have a backup plan. My original plan was for Andy and Carter to start spreading chicken litter tomorrow when the wind's supposed to die down. So that's definitely still a go. And if I can't move any dirt, unfortunately, I want to hook back up to the hooded sprayer because some of my burn down strips, I got a lot of kill, but there's enough out there kind of putting back out that I'm gonna have to spray it at least what I sprayed the very first day when it was kind of drizzly, cloudy and stuff. There's some spots out there that doesn't look too hot, and I have to check the rest of mine. But just to be on the safe side, make sure we're not gonna have any problems planting cotton, I need to retreat my burn down strips over there. I think what happened, well, I mean, not only was it a little drizzly that day, and then it was cloudy for 2/3 of the day. I think there's a problem with my Roundup because we also, like the yards that we sprayed with our Roundup, it took forever to die. And I was putting other stuff in there, dicamba, lead off, and it took them forever to die. I think my Roundup froze this winter up there in the gin. And I've heard don't ever let it freeze, and we've never had a problem before, but we got some generic glyphosate last year, and I think it froze, and I think that took a lot of the activity out of the glyphosate. I think that's what caused their issue. Oh well, lesson learned. Anyway, we're gonna call it a day. We'll see what tomorrow brings. All right, as you can see behind me there, she's fixed. Fortunately, Don Medlin, well, now known as Baker Equipment, there in Caruthersville, Missouri. They had 2 seals, and also the space. Come to find out that the spacers that the seals ride on were worn on mine. They had 2 of those spacers. That's why Napa had such a hard time finding the right seal yesterday, because my spacers were worn down. So anyway, we're heading field to do some dirt work, but before we get to doing dirt work, we got one more thing to do. We gotta get Andy and Carter started spreading some litter. All right, Andy, what's your density set on? Did you notice?
I was just about to check it.
All right, yeah, check it. All right, this litter right here is something we had hauled in last summer. We were going to plant wheat on this farm, but then I changed my plan. So this was the same litter Andy was spreading last fall in front of wheat planting. So shouldn't have to change anything on the monitor. The density should be the same, but he's double checking it. And Carter, we can't just dig from right there. That's going to be wet, and it's going to give us a false density.
I added some dry stuff in there.
Well, you need to pull about 3 or 4 scoops straight out from the center there, and then we'll get the center, and then we'll pull a weight on it then. Get that nice fresh aroma of biting into a litter pile that's been sitting for a while.
Really not terrible.
It ain't terrible. It stink. Once it's composted, it doesn't stink near as bad than when it's fresh hauled out of the barn.
That's lighter. That's
19 times 1.5, so about 30 is the density. All right, we just did a second measurement and come up with 37 on that density. That's the thing about chicken litter. I mean, it's not a completely uniform product, so say set your density on your monitor at 36.5 and your rate at 1.5 tons per acre, and we'll see where it goes. I know we're not going to use all of this pile here because I brought this pile in figuring on 2 tons per acre, but we're cutting back and going to save some of this pile for next year, but it ought to use the majority of it. Carter, put another dump or 2 on them and let him start spreading. Just make sure that bed chain and stuff is going to turn before we load them up with a full load there. All right, we got about half of a load on there. The last thing I'm going to do is try to start spreading with a full load and find out the chain ain't gonna turn. We tested it with it empty, but bringing things out of storage for the winter, you just don't never know. Y'all take a look at this cover crop. This is gonna be going into beans and nothing but grass is out here, just what we want. I mean, she's thick out here. Chain, there the chain goes. All right, it looks like everything's working according to plan, so we go get on the dirt pan and start moving a little dirt. Well, as y'all can see, I'm back over here by the litter pile. Andy didn't go very long before he had problems. Looks like him and Carter working on a solution. Let me go over here and see what's going on. Man, you just on a track record to get things tore up.
Yeah, made the first turn and I just don't really know.
Was it low or just?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it was that low. That turn wasn't just that sharp. I just heard a and I haven't heard that sound before. This is the same one that blew out last year. So I don't know if the beat's just not great or what. I don't know.
Ain't farming fun. You know how to work that?
I guess I'm gonna find out.
Almost. When I say it bulging out, I mean it'll catch.
Yeah.
You're leaving this all the way open. You're not.
I did just shut it on accident there. But I'll leave it open this far. Oh, nice.
Good job. It's not the seat to seal the air off.
Out of air.
All right, all fixed. Hopefully no more problems today. All right, I think Andy's finally running okay now, so I came on down the road to a different farm and got a few problem areas fixed. Nothing major, no major dirt work to do, but we do have a few problem areas I'd like to get taken care of. Scraper. This old tractor might not pull it easily, but it does pull it. And then what we're trying to fix, you see right up here, we just got a hole right there where it's drains off in the road ditch, and just over time it just gets worse and worse, so we're just filling in places like that. We got a few scattered washes through the field and stuff that's a little rough, and rather than going there and plowing it up in the next big rain, we've got an even worse wash. We'll go in and try and fill those washes in, and by leaving the cover crop in there with the roots, you know, the soil is stabilized, and yes, what we haul in there, some of it could get washed back out, but over time we keep doing this, it stabilizes the area, it builds it up. We spread the water over a wider channel rather than one narrow channel, and eventually the erosion will stop. So a lot slower this way, but it is more effective long term if we keep doing it right year after year. What we'll do is we'll just gently drive over the wash, and then we'll just dump the dirt in there. And then now that we got it filled in with dirt, we'll just lower our pan and just make several passes over it just to kind of smooth it out and make it good and plantable. And then when I get done, it looks like that. Perfect shape, ready to plant. All right, I made a list, you know, when I was doing my burn down strips, places need to be fixed because my mind ain't too good. So I got that one fixed, wrote down, we got some washes down on this end we need to take care of. So anyway, not gonna bore y'all with a lot of just dirt moving and everything. You kind of get the gist of what I'm doing, so I'll bring you back when something a little bit more interesting happens. All right, we've been working a few hours. I'm gonna go back here and check my bearing and make sure it held. I wasn't really happy how the races went in there. They seemed a little loose, but nobody had his hub in stock, so yeah, still looking good. All right, let's go over here and look at a project that Andy and Carter did while I was working on that bearing yesterday. I was hoping to be over here to kind of guide them because, you know, they just don't have a whole lot of experience with dirt work, but we were short on time, so I tried to explain what they needed to do. Several years ago, I put in a pipe right here, right where this one was, and built it up, and it held for probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And then, because we got a gully washer, and it started eating around the pipe, and this pipe right here got washed all the way down there. So I told Andy and Carter to come over here, dig that pipe out of the creek and where to put it, and I kind of tried to explain how to do it properly, and I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. The only thing that I'd be critical on is I think they got the pipe a little too low. I would like to have seen the pipe up a little bit higher because due to erosion, when the pipe was washed out, you know, we got quite a bit of fall right here going to the pipe. So I would like to have raised the pipe up probably about 8-9 more inches, and it would have had less of a grade going to the pipe, because right now, I mean, that's probably going to, I mean, it's going to wash down to the level of the pipe, and probably gonna have a little bit of a trench there. But you know, this was a pretty deep gully because that ditch over there had started cutting out into the field. So looked like they did a good job shaving down the bank and then filling it in and then packing the pipe in real good. And all I need to do is just come here and haul some more dirt over the top of it. Overall, for a couple rookies though, I think they did a pretty dang good job. Just wish we would have had the pipe up a little bit more. The one problem I'm seeing right now is when we put this pipe in several years ago, you know, I had my smaller pan. It had a narrower cut. That thing right there has got a 12-foot cut, and we got a 20-foot pipe. So it's gonna be really hard for me to put dirt over the top of it and not block the opening here. There's the finished product. I added probably at least another foot of dirt or so on the top. Opening still open. We get a rain, and all of this will settle out and form its own channel. And then the channel coming down through it, we graded it down a little bit, try and give it a little bit more gentle slope coming down here to the inlet. So hopefully it won't wash too awful bad now. Anyway, that's just the kind of stuff we're going to be going around doing with the dirt pan. I think we got just enough daylight. I got a wash right up in here I'm going to fill in. We got a pretty good bit done in just a few hours late this afternoon. Hopefully Monday be able to finish up all our work with the dirt pan here. Then either get there helping Andy on the chicken litter or whatever else needs to be done. Well, I gotta say right now, buying this sucker right here was a fantastic purchase. I absolutely love it. I could just do so much more with this than I could my previous pan. I mean, it cuts great, hauls a lot, transfers a lot of weight to my tractor to where my tractor can pull more. And then not only that, just the finishing ability of that pan is second to none. Well, you know, once you get the hang of it anyway. Anyway, right here we had a couple little washouts here. Right there. Anyway, got one load of dirt hauled in there and then got it graded off, and now all of our water is going to flow down this channel and go down to the pipe down there like it's supposed to, rather than cutting over this and going into the ditch. And then coming down through here, you can kind of see how it's serpentines. Just had a real narrow wash, maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide, but it was starting to get kind of deep where, you know, water kind of funnels between the two hillsides and comes down this way. And anyway, hauled 2 or 3 loads of dirt in, and then use the pan to just you know, grade it out and smooth it out, and she looks good. Well, like I said last week, I mean, we get a big gully washer, a lot of this dirt's going to wash right back out. But hopefully I built the center of it up a little bit higher. Maybe the water will divert around it a little bit into more stable soil. It's still got roots anchoring it. And if we don't get a big gully washer, we can get our corn crop established on here. You know, the corn will anchored in place, and you know, there's a good chance maybe here in 2 or 3 more years I might have to come back, kind of redo this. But the goal is that each time I come back and do it, I don't have to haul in as much dirt. We're gradually building it up, giving it a chance to stabilize, whereas if we were to use tillage to come in here and just, you know, plow it up, you know, it'd all be loose. We get a good rain, it runs down to the lowest part, eats all that loose dirt away, And not only do we have erosion back where it was, it's probably gonna be a little bit worse. And then all that dirt that we threw in the middle of that wash, all of it's gone. And just slowly, you're just creating a deeper and deeper channel that, you know, is never going to be fixed unless you fix it the right way. So anyway, we're making pretty dang good progress with this pan. We still got, I don't know, 1 or 2 more washes right here in this field. We got one in the field over there. And then the farm across the tree line, we got a mud hole we want to fill in. But we're making good progress. I think we ought to be able to get done with this today. I'm not the only one doing dirt work instead of planting. And the reason that is because the conditions for dirt work are picture perfect, nice and dry. We're not messing with mud. I mean, we can be out here and we can do a really good job filling in mud holes, washes, putting in pipes, all that stuff. It's a lot more likely to hold, and we can grade it, be a lot smoother, less finishing work we need to do. I mean, conditions are absolutely perfect for March for dirt work, and just we got the opportunity this year to take care of problems that we wouldn't normally be able to, you know, in March before planting, just because, you know, either in those places it's too wet, water standing or whatnot. I've definitely seen a few dirt pans, bulldozers, and track hoes working in the area, but that man over there, I just went over there and talked to him. I'm not going to say who it is, but anyway, asked him for a favor because he's just right next door. But at the end of this field, where that farmer comes into his field right next door, he's got to go through mine because that piece of land is landlocked. Anyway, there's a pretty big oak tree that fell over where he normally drives, and he's got to kind of run through the edge of my field and my crop to get around it to get to his field. And it's my responsibility to clean up, but I just stopped and asked him. He's got his track hoe over there. I asked him if he could just take just a couple minutes, come over here and swing that tree out of the way and open it up. He said it wouldn't be any problem. So it won't save me, you know, a few hours work having to go get a chainsaw, come back out here, cut it up, push it up out of the way, whereas he can take care of it with his track hoe a whole lot quicker. So really appreciate him taking time to do that. Every hour or two I can save in the spring to be doing something else is highly beneficial. All right, we're about to get done with our dirt work, finish up one last project here. That's this right here. I mean, you can tell we got a big creek right there, and for whatever reason, it keeps eating out in the field. And I mean, I really don't know why, because I mean, all this got all this watershed here. We got a pipe up there with a silt basin, and you can kind of see where I've kind of shaped that waterway a little bit better, and it flows all the way down here. We got a pipe right over there, so I really don't know where all of this water is coming from. I don't know if maybe the creek gets full and it kind of backs up in here or what. I don't know, but if it is water running off the field, I'm going to try and shape this a little bit better, maybe get this area to drain down towards that pipe a little better rather than coming out here. And then we're going to try and fill this in as much as we can to kind of get our field edge back and probably build it up higher to where water can't flow into there. You can tell I've already hauled one load of dirt, but this right here is about the hardest thing to fix with just a dirt pan and don't have, you know, a dozer or front end loader or whatever to push dirt in. But I'm over here working by myself. Andy's spreading chicken litter, and of course he's got the loader tractor. But what I'm doing is I'm filling it up, and I'm getting, I mean, right there on the edge, then stopping, opening up my gate, trying to let as much fall in as we can, and just kind of repeating that and doing it several times. If you remember from 4 years ago, maybe, I was working on this same problem with our other dirt pan, our dolly dirt pan, and it's not near as stable as that. Anyway, I flipped that dirt pan over in here, but I'm going to try to fix this without making the same mistake that time, because help is going to be a long ways away. here's the finished result. We got our field edge back. This right here is raised up higher than this. We kind of got our channel graded down to where it goes down to the pipe, and hopefully I won't have to come back over here and tend to this problem anymore. But what, 4 years ago or so, when I flipped the dirt pan over, I thought I'd fixed it right then. So we'll see if I'm back over here in a few more years. Guess we're going to do something different with this this spot. Maybe put in a pipe or something. Then right over there we got kind of a low lying spot. Man, that's the benefit of being able to do all this dirt work in this dry weather, because normally it would just be muddy there. I try to haul in dirt, and I mean, all it would do would be just gum up. I'd actually make the problem worse. It's just been a huge benefit this with the dry weather this spring. A lot of areas like that are just really aggravating. You're having to farm around them and whatnot. We're able to get them fixed, and hopefully we got them fixed right, and now all of this will drain properly. Won't be any wet areas. Gonna be good crops down here. You know, won't be creating ruts and just making the problems worse when we have to come in here when it's a little bit wetter than it should be. Just a whole lot of benefits here that hopefully I fixed all this stuff right, and we just won't have to deal with these issues anymore. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Before I let y'all go, y'all don't forget about our online merch store. I seem to forget to mention it, but www.farmmerchbin.com. You want your Greeks Farm shirt, hat, water bottle, tumbler, license plate, decal, you name it, they got it on there. Not only will we be helping support us as a farm, you also be supporting another local small family run business that puts on the website, makes all the merchandise, takes orders, and ships it out. So anyway, again, it's www.farmmerchbin.com. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you on the next one.